Hello there, and welcome back to the flight deck. We're here in Kufstein, starting off a little differently this time, as I had some recording problems. I did the whole startup process in advance, so basically I saved you a couple of boring minutes. We have already entered the flight plan. Long story short, we are all set up. We did the outside check, we're completely refueled. Today we took everything that we could from the gas station, because I don't know how fuel situation will look like with our destination, which is bringing me to the next point. Our tour through Austria is continuing from Zell am See today, with beautiful weather outside, into Kufstein. So we're gonna take a little leap around Tyrol here. We have a look at that. We basically go straight out of Zell am See. Over here is Innsbruck, so we're gonna pass into the Inn Valley basically, and then come into Kufstein over here, which I already learned is only German airport, so we might have a little bit of German radio over there. So that's gonna be a later part. We are basically all set up and ready to go already. That guy is standing in the middle of somewhere. That guy's bugging the other guy. We just love AI. Okay, doesn't really matter. Nevertheless, I think we will prepare over here, get into our chart window, and set up the frequency 119.705. Is that correct? Kufstein radio. We should be on our departure radio, which is Zell am See, like it's saying over here. We're gonna try 119.705. Just try it. 119.705. Yeah, it is the right radio, but what is that light bug? Charts. What the hell? That is completely broke. And that's looking a little bit better. Okay. Nevertheless, let's start this off before we get any more problems. Zell am See radios, Servus, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, Diamond Star from Zell am See to Kufstein, request departure information.
Oscar Echo Lima, runway 07 in use, left-hand circuit. QNH 1016, report departure decimal.
QNH 1016. QNH 1016, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Should have responded to that guy a little earlier maybe, but it doesn't really matter right now. Nevertheless, we got the QNH, we are actually all set to go. We are gonna perform some more checks, which is heading on straight ahead, auto ballot into heading mode. Now let's start the turns. That is working. We can move it freely. Manual disconnect is working. If I hold the manual disconnect button, the trim is not moving, and if I let it go, it is moving. Perfect. Let's set the trim to take off, pretty much around there. Taxi light is on. We already checked the pitot tube. Flaps are for takeoff. So let's check into here. The transponder code we will do a little later. Altimeter is set, autopilot tested, FMS is set up. Taxi checklist. Let's tap the brakes. Flight director can come off. Check all around us. Zell am See traffic, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima taxiing to runway 07. Zell am See traffic. There was nobody announced in the last few minutes, so.
Runway 07, QNH 1016.
That guy's rolling. Okay. He just stopped there. I do not know which light it is that is bugging so much. Trying to get rid of something here. Maybe that's what is causing our problems. Nevertheless, let's try to focus on taxiing here again. Okay, here we go. Got her around the corner. Nope. The bug is still occurring. Okay, nevertheless, the parking brake is set. The accelerator can come off for just a second. Mixer's going full rich. We're going to come up to 2000 RPM. Perfect. Now we're going to cycle the prop. Was almost. That's better. 3. Check the magnetos. Dropping by 90, okay. Dropping by 100, that is perfect. Cut off. The engine stays alive. Let's recover her to 1000 RPM. The fuel pump is coming on. Over here, we're zooming in a little bit. We do have a little bit better of an overview. Get everything ready.
Zil MC traffic, Oscar Echo Uniform India Echo taxiing to runway 7, Zil MC.
Okay. Zil MC traffic, Oscar Echo Fox Echo Lima lining up and taking off runway 07. Zil MC traffic. Okay, let's get going again.
Oscar Echo Lima. Departure at your discretion. Wind 020 at 9.
Okay, let's prepare, shall we? Activate the timer. Throttle is set. Take off. Airspeed is alive. Let's try to get back to that center line.
LMC radio, Oscar Echo Yankee Romeo Tango, ready for departure.
Oscar Echo Yankee Romeo Tango, wind 020 at 9, runway 07 in use.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is airborne.
Oscar Echo Lima. Say again, please.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is airborne. I think he will not get it once again.
Oscar Echo
Try
Lima.
that turn.
Say exit detriment.
What did he now say? Exit point is Whiskey for the Oscar Echo Lima. Down on the RPMs. Try to level off here. And fly out of here like we're supposed to. Okay. Now. get over here. Yeah, that is checked. Very close flying today. I can't believe this is the real traffic pattern. It's very close to the mountains. It feels wrong. Okay. Believe in the traffic pattern. Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is leaving the frequency. Let's get out of here, say 1 to 1.4 because that's
Not clear what you said. Say again.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima is leaving the frequency. Goodbye. Okay. Let's increase our altitude to 8,500. And I will somehow have to find out what kind of graphical bugs I am experiencing here. So let's have the autopilot on. Heading is going straight ahead. Heading mode on. Very good. Now, we are actually going to get into our flight plan. That's the way you get into your flight plan. We're going to activate that and activate the nav mode. Now let's keep on climbing. Whilst we're climbing out, let's quickly check. Fuel pump is on. Let's go to our climb checklist. The flaps are up. The RPM was set to 2000 RPM-ish. We can come up a little bit here. The fuel pump is off. Lights are as required. Make sure we're gonna check for 150 now. That is looking good. And the engine instruments monitor, of course. Okay, let's get rid of that chart. And here we go flying. Beautiful looking everything over here. How would it be if I didn't plug that? Oh yeah, that's loud. Let's keep ourselves plugged in, shall we? And let's switch frequencies. Wind information servus, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima just departed Zell am See with destination Lima Oscar India Kilo, request traffic service.
Echo Lima. Squawk 4441 and island.
Squawk 4441, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. Let's see if he will get that. Get the flight level change thing on.
Fuel endurance.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, we have about 4.8 gallons on board, so approximately 4 hours of endurance. Why does he want to know that? What did he get us destination? Lima Oscar Kilo India.
Thank you.
And Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, our destination is Lima Oscar India Kilo. He did get the wrong destination, I think.
Oscar Echo Lima. Roger, Loki.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot and Echo Lima, negative, it's Lima Oscar India Kilo. Come on.
Oscar, Echo Lima, Loki, Roger.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, request destination change.
Oscar, Echo Lima, state new destination.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, new destination, Lima, Oscar, India, Kilo.
Oscar, Echo
We
Lima,
get it.
Loki, Roger.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, negative, our destination is Lima, Oscar, India, Kilo, Kufstein. That's a little annoying. And now he's not responding anymore. And he said, look again. That is super annoying. Okay. Nevertheless, let's start preparing ourselves. Our frequency will be 122380. So we're gonna prepare 122380. I've already flown into Kufstein and it was no problem then. So I don't know why it's such a big problem right now. But yeah, nevertheless, we're on our way. Everything is looking nice and pretty. And we are now at our height, but we're going to reduce to 2,200 RPM-ish, somewhere about there. And then we're gonna come back on our fuel. Set a proper mixture. Prime the engine nicely. Somewhere about there. Okay. I don't know what that light bug is. That things are lighting up and then going away again. I have like RESHADE on, which if I turn it off the sim looks like this. It doesn't seem to be appearing when I do not use RESHADE. But it's such a difference using RESHADE. Everything looks so much better. And I could possibly try to work around that. But it just makes everything so much nicer. I will have to figure out a way, I guess. Also, with the levels tab, maybe it's the levels that is having problems right now. But the difference is just insane. I do really not want to play without this anymore because I think it looks just so much better when you got RESHADE in this. That I really do not want to switch it. Okay. Nevertheless, we're on our way now, and things are looking a lot more crisp. Everything is looking very good. We are all nice and set. See, there's the bug again. I don't know what it is, I don't know why it is coming, but yeah. Things are just the way that they are. Everything is looking very good. We're at good height. Well, we'll clear all of the terrain and then do a turn back in here. We got a few minutes of flight until we get down to the front of here. We can see our top of descent is right there, which means we will descend via the valley. And I think I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, because now it's just flying over some beautiful Alps. And I'm going to catch up with you as soon as we are in front of there, within the middle of the snow, the middle of the Alps. Because I don't think there's much interesting stuff happening until then. So see you in a second. Okay, and here we are back. We're now in the middle of the snow fields, and this is the valley that we're going to fly into. So this here is the valley that we're going to start our descent into, and to the left is where Innsbruck is. So back there is Innsbruck basically, and we're gonna turn back into here, into direction Kufstein. What our plane is now going to do, a turn to Rattenberg, which is pretty much over that top up there, and we don't want to do that. We want to go straight down. So what we want to do is we want to set our heading now straight ahead, and we want to activate the heading. So we can now verify we're on heading mode, and now we're going to turn ourselves right down that valley. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn right in over here. Here you can, by the way, see Lima Oscar Whiskey India. That is Innsbruck Airport. Seems to have some traffic as well. Okay, that lightning bug is really a little bit annoying. I hope I will find a way to get that away. Because it seems to be a little buggy. That popping makes me crazy. Okay, nevertheless, top of descent. We can check, it's calculating on 800 feet per minute. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We are going to go down 4,500 feet now. We're gonna start with wheel speeds of 400. We can come back a little bit on our thrust setting over here. We will increase the mixture a little bit again. Oscar Echo Foxtrot, Echo Lima, request airport information for Lima Oscar India Kilo. Maybe it works this time. We will see.
Oscar Echo Lima. No information available for Loki. Suggest refer to chart.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot, Echo Lima, request airport information for Kufstein. Come on.
Kufstein, elevation 1588 feet. QNH 1013. Surface altitude 4200 feet. Wind 060 at 9er.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot, Echo Lima, request to change our destination to Kufstein. Maybe now it will work. The QNH is 1013 is what we said.
Lima, destination updated to Kufstein.
Let's check. Lima Oscar India Kilo. Oscar Echo Foxtrot, Echo Lima, request airport information. Lima Oscar India Kilo. Does it work now? I mean, we already got the information pretty much because of QNH.
Loki, Vitersdorf Heliport. Elevation 2070 feet. QNH 1015. CTAF 123.5.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot, Echo Lima, request runway in use in Kufstein. Okay, he understands Kufstein better than the car code. That is a little strange, but...
Oscar Echo Lima, runway 24 in use.
Roger, thank you. Okay, so we got several items checked there. We learned a little bit about say intentions, which is saying the name seems to be a little better, at least in this case. Wow. The photogrammetry looks, the photogrammetry, the texture looked absolutely ugly over here. That really does not look good. Super dried out textures. It looks a little better over there. That's not beautiful. That's not how it's supposed to be. Okay, close the flight plan window, go in here, change our heading. We can start turning towards the highway down there, which is what we're going to follow in, and then we're going to have some visual guidances Lima Oscar India Kilo, approach please, VFR approach, short load 8 in as well. Let's increase our rate of descent. Actually, we have to go out of that window once again. It's not giving us any calculation on our height anymore. But I know that we need to increase our rate of descent in order to get down. That is once again, that is not correct. Okay. 122380 is set. We're already prepared for that.
Echo Lima. Kufstein Airport at your 2 o'clock, 14 miles. Change to advisory frequency approved. Radar services terminated. Squawk 7000.
Squawk 7000, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima. 1013, 1013. We're gonna change on the frequencies, transponder, we're gonna go VFR again, 7000 is set. We never started a timer, which means we can close that window. And clearing the mountains and having everything set up, we are just about to start taking over manually again. So I think that we could just do that right now. Let's start flying manually, shall we? We're gonna follow in the river over there to Berger, so we stay clear of the villages down there. Give them a little bit of sound protection. And we can come down on our speed. Being in the yellow speed range is absolutely no problem. It's the air is very calm today. But anyways, we're getting closer to our destination. It's pretty much back there somewhere. Sitting in here, I think, next to that mountain. So slowly but wholly, we wanna get things cracking. We're gonna continue our descent to, I think it's 2,600 feet. So 1,000 feet above ground level. It's located at 1,500 to 1,600 feet, so that should set us up perfectly. Now, Berger, this point that is shown right here, is right here where the river tip is. So this is basically what we're heading for right now. Once we're coming into the range, we're gonna have our lighting systems on. We're just going to check on our descent, the mixture is adjusted correctly, that is checked, instruments are monitored, approach, fuel selector. We have been on one tank for the whole time. We never switched tanks, that's maybe not the best idea, but yeah, it happened. Nevertheless, the parking brake is released, the lights are as required, the fuel pump is coming on, altimeter is set, com, nav, and FMS, power set, checked. Final we're gonna do later. That's everything set over here. Okay, here we go. So this is basically going to be our entry point. Kufstein Info, Servus, Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, eine Diamond Star. Wir kommen aus dem Westen über Börgöl zur Landung. Let's see if this works.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, Kufstein Info. Hallo, bitte Ihre Nachricht.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima ist eine Diamond Star. Wir sind im Landeanflug aus dem Westen zur Vollstopplandung. Never did that in German, I think.
Oscar Echo Lima,
So that might be a little...
haben Sie eine PPR für Kufstein vor Abflug eingeholt? Bitte bestätigen. Und melden Sie Ihre aktuelle Position und Höhe.
Oscar Echo Foxtrot Echo Lima, bestätige, wir haben eine PPR eingeholt. Und wir befinden uns in 3000 Fuß über Wörgl. So let's aim for this point now. This is our next aiming point. Did he not get the message? The next turn. Following now along the train tracks over there. Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima, erbitte Landung in Kufstein. Trying to ask this guy if we're allowed to land in Kufstein because we have no idea at the
Oscar Echo
moment.
Lima, haben Sie eine PPR für Kufstein vor Abflug eingeholt? Bitte bestätigen Sie und melden Sie Ihre aktuelle Position und Höhe.
Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima, wir haben eine PPR. Befinde mich südwestlich des Platzes in 2800 Fuß.
Oscar Echo Lima, Position und Höhe melden. Haben Sie eine PPR für Kufstein vor Abflug eingeholt?
Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima, wir haben eine PPR eingeholt und wir befinden uns südlich des Platzes in 2800 Fuß. It seems like this is not really working. Put the mixture full forward here already.
Oscar Echo Lima, QNH 1015, Piste 24 in Benutzung. Melden Sie EG.
Okay, now it seems to be working. Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima, verstanden. Okay, let's prepare for landing. Let's get flaps 1 out here now.
Oscar Echo Lima, wiederholen Sie Ihre letzte Meldung bitte.
Just stopping talking with that guy now. Simply not working nicely. Let's start descending in short before Kufstein. So this is Kufstein, there's the castle over there. Short before here we want to take a left turn in and then do a very sharp turn. And since things are going down pretty fast, we're going to go flaps full already. I'm going to help myself flying the plane with a little bit of trim. We are at our approach speed. And here we're turning. That is the hospital below us with the helicopter port and everything. Oscar Echo, Foxtrot Echo Lima im Endanflug Puste 24.
500.
Oscar Echo Lima, Wind 060 mit 9er Knoten. Keine gemeldeten Verkehr. Landung nach eigenem Ermessen auf Piste 24.
Okay, we're clear to land. Let's just come in here. A little bit of a bump coming up. And down we are. Let's orientate to that center line. Oh, that seems to be a little bit of a graphical bug here. Okay. Perfect. Let's pull up the flaps. Transponder standby, fuel pump off. Here we are in Kufstein. That was a little...
Bravo Hotel reporting airborne.
Okay.
Bravo Hotel, Roger. Contact departure.
With that guy, he is talking English. I've been flying into here with same intentions for once, and I talked English to him, he only responded to me in German. This is why I talk German to him right now. But ja. Oscar Echo Fox und Echo Lima haben die Piste verlassen. Nevertheless, very interesting.
Oscar Echo
Something
Lima,
completely
QNH
different.
1015, Piste 24 in Benutzung, Wind 060 mit Nina Knoten.
Okay, he did not get it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I do not know why. Nevertheless, we will park ourselves somewhere over here. That is a good spot. Set the parking brake, come down to 1000 RPM. Ish. Yeah, that is looking good. All the lights that could have come off some time ago. Nevertheless, everything is looking good so far. Get a little more fuel left in our left tank since we forgot to switch. Not a problem for now. Whoopsie. Let's come into here. Post flight after landing. That is all checked. Parking checklist. Parking brake is set. Engine instruments are checked. The avionic master can come off. Ignition grounding. That is done. Then the fuel is coming to cut off. Thrust idle, ignition off. There we go. All the lights are switched off. Now before we unplug, let's get out of the audio system again. I can get rid of that warning. Electronic consumers, we didn't use any, so they are all off. Battery master switch off. ACL strobe lights and cabin lights have been off the whole time. So that is that. We can open up the canopy, and with this, welcome to Kufstein, in the middle of the mountains. Look how beautiful things are looking. That is not the type of plane flying into Kufstein. I'm sure about that. And it's interesting that those guys haven't been here a second ago when we taxied in, but yeah, doesn't matter. That seems to be a bug. Planes with the intention start with the engine running and then they turn it immediately off and then they continue from there. That's strange. But yeah, here we are in Kufstein. Without any further ado, I think we see us the next time when we continue on our journey, and for the time I say thank you for flying with me and bye bye.